that the way we create a list is list is equal to square brackets, and the way we create a tuple is tuple is equal to parenthesis. Okay, tuple is equal to parenthesis. Now we've seen that when I asked type of L, it told me that what you created is of list type, and when I ask them here what you created, it will tell you I created is a class of belongs to tuple. Then we've seen that list can be used with square brackets here, okay, and tuple can be used with parentheses, and we can give the multiple values here or now. Okay, and also we learned that list contain heterogeneous data element, and tuple also contains heterogeneous data elements, meaning that it can contain data elements of different type. Okay, it can be integer type, it can be float type, it can be string type, and also it contains different data type. And finally, we've seen one of the very important interview question, that how to create a list with a single element. That's very straightforward, but creating a tuple with a single element actually needs a comma here now, because if you don't put a comma there, it will treat it as an integer value, and when I ask them please tell me the type of T, it will tell you that I belongs to the integer type. And when you try to perform any operation on tuple, it will actually results to an integer, not to a tuple. So that's why need to be careful while making a tuple, single tuple out of it. Okay, very important here. Then we talk about how to create a list from an iteratable and tuple from an iteratable. Okay, so let's see example. Then we can go ahead. So here I'll just go and select different pen. Okay, so here I would like to explain that some examples. I was asking like, shall we have some questions? So thank you, Abhishek. Can we have a Boolean type or our elements in tuple or list? Yes, our elements in the sense, Abhishek, we can have Boolean elements. Even it can contain list, even it can contain tuple. But our element I didn't understood. Acha, as our element. Okay, yes, yes, Abhishek. We can also have Boolean or any type, guys. It can take any object. Okay, whether it can be list or a tuple or whatever, it can be of any type. Okay, now thank you. So let's go here, and can we even take tuple in a list or vice versa? Of course you can do it. Okay, you can have list inside a list, or you can have a tuple inside the tuple, or the vice versa. It's perfectly fine. Okay, there is no problem. It can take any object actually. Okay, any other questions, guys? Please have questions so that I can see that whatever we discussed till now, it's clear. Okay, so I'll just continue. Please, if you have any sort of questions, please let me know. Okay, so examples we have seen yesterday, that you can create list from from a list function. Okay, first of all, yeah, thank you, Bull. Thank you, Nitin. Okay, so list can be created using this thing. So this will return you an empty list, right? This will return you an empty list. Same thing with tuple. Example here. If you say T is equal to tuple, T is equal to tuple is a function. It will give you an empty tuple. Sorry, an empty tuple out of it. Okay, an empty tuple out of it. Okay, so this will give you an empty list or an empty tuple. Sometimes if you have a string and you want to create a tuple out of it, you can also do that. Okay, you can say L is equal to list from hello, list from hello. So if you have a string or a tuple, any iteratable object, then you just give it to them. It will generate a list out of it. One, two, three. Sorry, it gives you hello, right? It gives you hello is H. Okay, E, L, L, and then O. Okay, a list will be generated out of it. Similarly, if you give a tuple of hello, if we give a tuple of hello or a list or range or whatever, it will generate a tuple of hello actually. Okay, H E L L and O. Okay, it will generate a tuple out of it. Okay. Okay, so next thing I would like to talk about here, few things like fifth point I would like to talk about. We already discussed up to here. I hope there's no doubt. If you have any doubt, can ask anytime. No problem. Okay, because it's an important topic, which is tuple versus list or list versus tuple is one of the very important topic. So a lot of questions can be expected from this, even programmatically or as well as interview point of view. This topic is very important. Okay, you cannot write even a single program in Python without having a knowledge of list and tuple. So that's why working on list and tuple is very important. Okay, so let's get here. And we also know that another way of creating a tuple is sorry, list is by using split function, right? We learn already that I can just write a split function and I can create a list out of it because split function returns list. We've seen that if I say hello, okay, if I say here something like hello, and if I write a split function, hello split, then we know that it's going to return you hello, right? A list of hello actually. Okay, like for example, if I just go here to my Python IDLE, okay, and if I write this method as hello, okay, or whatever the string may be stored it in some variable or whatever, if I say split, it generally splits based on the spaces. There is no spaces, so this will give you a single element. It will not split you based on H space H then E then L and O. It's not like that, guys. Okay, it will simply based on the delimiter, whether it is a space or comma or whatever. Based on the delimiter, it will return you. So it's not going to return you hello as a HELLO as a separate thing. It's going to return you hello as a single element because there is no space, so it's going to return you the single element as an hello. So split method can also be used to create a list sometimes. Split method can also be used to create list sometimes from a given string generally. It is only from string, not from any other type. So on string, I can call split method. Or I think I should tell you the syntax, then I'll go and talk about it. You can use a split method. You can generate a list using a string dot split. Okay, string dot split. An example, I can take something like this. Okay, example where I have hello world, and I call split on that. Okay, split on that. And what happens, it's going to give me hello as separate string, and a list of string gets created, world as an another element here now. Okay, so it gets created. For this default is space, yes Satyam, for this default is space, we know that we can give the separator and the max split, and we can make a list out of it. So we learn this split method in detail in our string class. Okay, we learn this split method in detail in our string class actually. Okay, now as we don't have any split method or something here, I would like to talk about something interesting here. Okay, the fifth point is we're going to talk about something interesting. Now what we'll learn is, okay, what we will going to learn is suppose, okay, you have some elements here now. Okay, this is very interesting or very important concept, guys. Please listen. Okay, a lot of concepts or a lot of time Python implicitly uses the tuple a lot, especially for the communication. Python uses tuple a lot. So this you need to understand very importantly. For example, I created, for example, name I have given as XYZ, XYZ, and I have the roll number, okay, as something like 123, and then I have percentage is equal to as 89.9 percentage. I have these three variables now. Okay, generally I have many more variables actually, name, roll number, percentage, and everything. Okay, I wanted to create a tuple out of it so that for carrying it will be easy, so that I can carry. Okay, because if I just wanted to carry this to some place, different variables carrying is not easy. Okay, different variable carrying is not easy. So can I convert them into tuple? These variable data, I wanted to convert them into tuple. Can I convert them into tuple? Yeah, Kudal says yes. Okay, thank you, Kudal. Okay, how? How can I convert them into tuple? How can I convert them into tuple? Okay, named tuple. Fine. Can you elaborate, Venkat, named tuple? Okay. Join is used only in string concept, guys. Join is used in string. And tuple function will take iteratable object Ubul, and name, roll number, they are not iteratable object. They are not iteratable object. Yeah, very good, Krishna. Very good. Simply what you can do is you can say t is equal to, you can simply write name comma roll number, name comma roll number, okay, comma percentage. That's all. This concept is generally called it as packing. This concept is generally called it as packing. Okay, so I'm going to talk to our next point here, the next most important point from the tuple one, which is generally called it as tuple packing, tuple packing and unpacking. It's very important concept, guys. Please listen that tuple packing and unpacking. Yeah, tuple is like structure in C. No, not exactly, but okay, it looks like something. So this is called tuple packing, guys. Okay, so I'm packing the way you do packing when you travel, right? So that's what Python do a lot, like packing. Okay, so what it will do is it will have a multiple. If you have, just excuse me. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so t is equal to name, comma, roll number, comma, percentage. So this is generally called it as tuple packing. In the sense, what you're going to do is, suppose you do travel, right? And you have different items, okay? And you pack them into a single bag so that you should not carry all the items at once. So that's what generally called packing actually. Okay, that's what generally called packing. Now when I press enter, it accepts it. Even parenthesis is not required, guys. Even parenthesis is not required. So I was keep telling you the tuple generally gets created by using parenthesis. I keep telling you that tuple generally created by parenthesis, right? Every time I told you the syntax, the tuple gets created by parenthesis. You know what? Parenthesis is not required to create a tuple. What it requires is a comma actually. What it requires is a comma. It will automatically pack them. Okay, automatically pack them. So when I say t is equal to name, comma, roll number, comma, percentage, now you got a tuple, guys. You got a tuple as name as xyz, percentage as 123, and roll number as 123, and percentage as 89.9. And this concept is generally called it as packing. This concept is generally called as packing. So with this, we learn that it's not required brackets. I can create a simply tuple like this: t is equal to 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4. I can create a tuple like this. When I ask him, please tell me the type of t. Please tell me the type of t. It tells you that I belongs to that tuple type. Parenthesis also works definitely, Satya, but it is not required actually. It is not required to create a tuple. Okay, for an empty tuple, it's required. But whatever we learn, it's okay. Without parenthesis also we can do it. It understands that whenever you give a comma, you're creating a tuple out of it. So that's what you're doing a packing actually. But again, if you wanted to create a single element without parenthesis, but still comma is mandatory, guys. Comma is mandatory. It creates a tuple like this. Okay, understood everyone what is meant by packing? Understood everyone what is meant by packing? Yeah, thank you Abhishek, thank you Vishwajit. And for example, after packing, okay, after packing, you wanted to unpack them. After packing, you wanted to unpack them. So what you can do is you can unpack them. Okay, you can unpack them. How can you unpack them? You can say, for example, I wanted to store n, I wanted to store the next value in r, and I wanted to store it in p. These three variables I took, and I can say is equal to t. This is called unpacking, reverse of that. So it will get unpacked. Okay, so first value will be stored in n, second value will be stored in r, third value will be stored in p now. Okay, so that way we will do unpacking of this particular concept. So when I press enter, it says not enough element. Okay, because I changed the tuple. So it's saying that not enough elements to unpack, you see, because in tuple now we got only one element and we said them to do these three things, because this statements this statement I overridden. So first I will execute this and then I will execute this. So you need to know, you need to have enough elements to unpack, right? It was very clearly telling you not enough values in the tuple, expected three but only got one because I changed my tuple. Now the tuple contains three elements and I'm unpacking it. Okay, I'm unpacking it. This is perfectly fine. When I press enter, now this is again got t and n got separately, which is xyz, r got separately, which is this one, and p got percentage. Yeah, when we assign like abc comma 1 2 3, then it is a tuple. Yes, 1 2 3 is a tuple, Satyam, but a b c is a single variable, then a multiple assignment. So this is generally what you're doing is unpacking. Already if you have a tuple, you can unpack them into individual variables. I hope you all understood. It's one of the very important concept. Yeah. Again, I will tell you. See, you packed it, right? So I told you, like while traveling, what you do, Shikawat. You have multiple items. You have multiple items. You pack them into a single tuple. Imagine tuple as a bag, where you pack all the elements into a single tuple. And then when you reach to the destination, you will unpack them, right? You took each element and you will store them into separate variables. So that is called unpacking. So here I packed them. This is called packing. I packed them and this is called unpacking. Okay, packing and unpacking. Got it, Shikawa? I'll do explain here with an example if you want. Okay. So like for example, I just did it, right? I'll take an example here. Okay, example. For example, I have something like name. Okay, name is equal to, or I can directly write it. I can say, for example, tuple is equal to name as xyz, roll number as 123, and percentage as 98.5. So this is called packing. So I'm putting all this data into my tuple now. So it gets packed. So when I print t, it prints me a tuple like this. Name as xyz, roll number as 123, and 98.5. So you have, when you have multiple things and you wanted to pack them into a tuple, you can do that. You can do that. That's what I'm just putting into a single element. Okay, a single element now, right? So that way, type of single element is tuple. That's true, Satyam. And here, once we pack it, I can unpack also. Okay, I can unpack also. Meaning, once you have a tuple, I can store them into different variables. I can store this in name. I can store this in roll number, and I can store this in percentage. I can give it now. So it will unpack them. So unpacking means each and every element will be stored in the different variables now. Okay. Now n contains xyz. Okay. R contains roll number, and p contains percentage. So that's where you can unpack them into a single variable. Okay. So you'll find this syntax a lot in Python, guys. That's why I told you Python uses this packing unpacking concept a lot. because to take the data from one place to another place, you always do this packing and unpacking, right? You always do packing and unpacking. In future, you will see them a lot. In future, you're going to see them a lot. Is that clear, everyone? Any questions? What is the difference between simple to and tuple to? Sorry, Satyam. You mean to say this one? Okay, let me run again. Okay, you say like this, right? T is equal to 2, right? This is an integer. This is an integer value. Tuple is actually collection of elements, Rajshekhar. Why first letter only R? We are while taking unpacking. No, it's not about R. Okay, it's about the names of the variable you wanted to give one while unpacking. Say I wanted to store first value in name, second value in roll number, and third value in percentage. It's up to you, whatever the variables you wanted to give it. Roshan, we just started. We said that what is packing and unpacking. We revised all the things. Okay, and we are in the fifth point. Yesterday we talked about fourth points. Now we are talking the fifth point. Okay. uh, Yeah, sorry guys. Tell me, like, sorry Santosh, I didn't understood your question. Rajshekhar, Satyam, will you please elaborate? If someone wanted to talk, I can make them unmute because sometimes I know it's little difficult to make understand from text. Yes, you can all do that operation, Abhishek. You can swap the items, you can add them, you can do a lot of stuff. Okay, a lot of stuff. Udit was asking like t is equal to 2 and t is equal to 2 comma. Yes, t is equal to 2 is a single integer value. Okay, it will never be act like a tuple, but 2 comma will act like a tuple. That's true. Type, yeah, integer, then it will be integer, Satyam. When you say a comma b comma c is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3, so a is an integer then. A will not be a tuple. You are unpacking them. Once you unpack them, the individual variable will become a integer type, not the tuple type or whatever the data you are storing. So when I type of A, it will tell you that I belongs to an integer type now, not the tuple type. Remember. So then after unpacking, we have to call the different variables separately, right? Yeah, that's what unpacking means actually. Unpacking means from tuple you are storing in some different variables. Okay, I'll take some example, guys, real-time example, the way we do packing. For example, you wanted to travel to some place like US or something, and generally what we do is we carry like a lot of things from here, right? Like for example, I have three things. Okay, three things to pack it. Like for example, I have a pickle. Okay, generally we don't find in outs like countries outside of India. So I will pack them. Like for example, I'll be packing. I must use different color. Like, okay. So here I'll be using white color. So I have pickle now. Okay. And can you help me out with three different items now? Okay. Yeah. That's true, Aditi. We don't find even papad and okay. Someone can help me. That three items I wanted to pack them. Okay. Chapati? Okay, fine. We do make chapati, right? Udit, I think I can found chapati. Okay, fine. I'll take Udit's thing. Okay, I'll do in Shikawa. I didn't get you what you mean, but I will do it in ideally. Don't worry. So generally, you wanted to carry this. Okay, you wanted to carry this to some other country. So what you do is you cannot carry them differently, right? Pickle, papad, and chapati you cannot carry. Suppose this is of integer type. Okay, this is of string type, and this is a float type, whatever. They are the different types actually. What you do them, you pack them into a box. Okay, you put them all them into a box. That is generally called packing. Meaning you write them T or whatever the variable or a box. Okay, box is equal to all these things. So box is my tuple. Then you packed everything. You packed everything into a box now so that you can carry. This is called packing. Understood now? This is called packing. This is called packing. And when you reach to the destination, you'll take the box and you store the pickle in some container, pickle container. Okay. Then papad you store it in some big container where you can store it, and chapati you can store it in your plate. So this is called unpacking. Got my point, guys? Packing means you're putting them into a box so that you can carry, and after reaching you will unpack them. Pickle will be stored in the container of pickle, then your papad will be stored in some other container, and then chapati will be stored in the plate so that you can eat them. Understood now what is meant by packing and unpacking, everyone? So now these are the individual elements. They are not called tuples now. They are different containers now. They are different containers now. This is what generally happens in packing and unpacking actually. Let me check now if you have any questions. Like Shikawat was asking to execute me. Sorry, there was a lot of questions at the same time, so I did not check it. Like which one you wanted to see, because I already shown you this in IDLE here. Okay. We took example. Like tell me which example I should take it so that I can show you here. No problem, Shikawat. And others also like Udit and all, they were asking some questions. Sorry, I didn't. I think ABC is equal to 1 comma 3 are referring to a single variable. Yes. Chapati one, you want me? Okay, I will do that. A lot of real case scenarios, guys. Okay, a lot of real case scenarios where this tuple packing and unpacking will be done. But you need to understand functions concepts in that. Don't worry, I'll be explaining you. Please note it down in your notebook that real-time scenarios we'll be discussing in future, because a lot of places you will come across with tuple with it. A lot of places you will come across with tuple, especially this packing and unpacking concept. Okay, so I'll try to make it, guys. So I'll create a box now. I'll create a variable called box. Okay, where I'm storing this pickle. I hope it spells correct. And I'll store another element, okay, called papad, okay, and I'll store chapati. Okay, it spells not exactly correct, but it's fine. Okay, so I'm storing pickle, papad, and chapati in a box now. Now, when I print box, it will tell you that it contains three elements now: pickle, papad, and chapati. Now I can carry only one box instead of three different items. Do you agree? I can carry one box which contain all the three now because it has been converted into a tuple. When I ask him, please tell me what is this box, it tell you I belongs to a tuple type now. So you pack them, pickle, papad, and chapati, all these things you pack them into a box. So once you pack them, then what you do is, after reaching the destination, you need to unpack them. It's okay if you don't unpack them. I'm just explaining you what is unpacking. You can pack them, that's fine. You can pack them, that's fine. You don't have to do unpacking. Yes, index term in this for getting single item, of course. I can also say a box of one can also tell me like, okay, it is papad actually because it starts from zero. Okay, it does same like an array, guys. It works same like an array in other languages. Okay, so that way you can get it. But sometimes after reaching, you wanted to store it in some variable. Like I wanted to store in pickle in X, okay, and papad in Y, and chapati in Z. So I can say XYZ is equal to box. So this is called unpacking. Now X contains pickle separately, Y contains papad separately, and Z contains chapati separately. I separated them. That is called unpacking. Yes, that can be one of the way, Rajshekhar. That's correct. That can be one of the way. Yeah, now it is string perfectly, Satya. Actually what you created is a string of tuple. Now they got separate strings actually. Yes, automatically it assigns the first element to x. That's why you need to be carefully taken the variables, Aditi, on the left hand side. Otherwise, you will get an error. If you say x comma y is equal to box, there is no enough elements to unpack. You will get error. Too many values to unpack. Box contains 3 items. You have only two values now. Okay, so need to be careful while unpacking. Okay, on the left hand side, you need to have enough variables so that all the elements will be unpacked and stored in a separate thing. That's what called unpacking, right? That's what I explain you when we do unpacking. Extra also will create a problem, Aditi. It has to be exact. That's why you should know what is tuple actually. No, it will not be removed. That we will learn, guys. You cannot do that, Udit. Actually, in tuple, you cannot add one more element to that. Okay, that's what we will talk in the things. Yes, it's immutable. Okay, we cannot do that. Many times we unpack after one pack. Yeah, that's true, Satyam. Okay, we'll do unpack. So that's why what we learn is only packing and unpacking, guys. Don't take it much because we will learn in future in detail. No worry about this unpacking and packing a lot. No, no, no. You have to store them in a variable. You cannot store them 1, 2, 3 cannot be a variable names, Rajshekar. It's not possible. It should be variables so that you can store the values into the variables. In list packing and unpacking, generally, let's see, generally people don't use them, but let's see whether it is available or not. Okay, suppose I have a list of elements like 1, 2, 3, L is equal to 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4. Okay, then when I say x, comma y, comma z, comma q is equal to L, okay, it's happening. It's possible even. Okay, you can do that unpacking from list as well. But generally with tuple, we generally do a lot, but with list also it can happen for unpacking. Got the point, guys? Okay, yeah, thank you. So it's possible with list as well, that unpacking, but packing cannot be possible with list. You can unpack them, but packing cannot be done. I hope you agree with them. You cannot do packing with list. You cannot do packing with list. Try for packing. There is no packing concept. Unpacking anyhow it's possible. You can just pick one by one element from the list. That's possible, but packing is not possible. So that's why generally people don't talk about packing and unpacking in the list, because packing itself is not allowed. So it's, people do not talk about it. But as Santosh asked, list packing is not available, Santosh, but unpacking is available. Please check and confirm. Can you do packing? Then you can understand the actual meaning of packing. Check on your ideally. Okay, what is exactly meant by packing? Okay, so everyone clear? Guys, 1 minute, huh? I'll just get back in 1 minute. And would you like to do some exercises? Let me check. Do we have exercises here? Okay. Can you do this, guys? Meantime, a small exercise on list. Okay, can you do this? Yeah, thank you, Snehal. So write a program to find the second largest number in a list. Try to do. I know that, but you, whatever the knowledge you have based on that, you can do it. But some information is required. I'll give you. Okay, just a minute. Okay, sorry, Ubul has sent as the code. Satyam has sent us the code. Yeah. Uh, so fine. Anybody else done with this? I told you, like using your previous knowledge, you can do this problem. Not Vamshi. Means better use whatever we learned before. Okay, I'll show this program. Okay, I'll show this program and then we'll go for your corrects, Vamshi. That will work. But anyhow, we haven't discussed about it. Let's see how to find the second largest element from a list. I think first thing everybody got a doubt is how to accept this list. Okay, how to accept this list. First, let me show you how to accept this list from user. Okay, let me show you how to accept this list from user. So I will open my shell, I mean to say script, and I will accept list from user base. I will accept list from user. Okay. Now the way, sir, how to take multiple inputs? Yeah, it's not multiple input, Aditi. We are actually taking a list directly. We are actually taking a list directly. I'll show you how to take multiple input as well if possible. If you can understand, it will be good enough. Otherwise, no problem. Okay, so I will show you that how exactly I can take list from user. First thing, how to accept list from user. To accept list from user, like for example, in this case, in this example, I'm entering a list. Let's take L. No problem. L is equal to, obviously I cannot write directly input inter list. Okay, inter list, and people will generally use list function to convert, which is wrong, guys. You should not use list function to convert because you are entering using a square bracket as well. You've seen that it's entering using a square brackets. Okay, square bracket here 3 1 5 2 and 4. Okay, you are taking it. Now you see here that you are entering a list now, but it includes square bracket as well. It includes square bracket as well. So if you use here, like for example, if you use here as a tuple, I mean to say that if you use list here to convert into a list, which is not correct actually. This is what many of us generally thinks, that we will convert into a list and we will accept the input data and will convert into list. That is what generally they think about it. But let me show you what will be type of L, what will be the type of L, and what L gets printed, what L gets printed. So you will understand that what is bad about using converting into a list. List can be used to convert from any iteratable, but it will, while entering the data like this, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, it will convert everything into list, guys. You see, it generated into a list class, but even the square bracket is a part of the list, comma will be treated as a part of the list. Okay, comma will be part of the treated as a list. So that's why it is not good way to take it. It is not good way to accept it. So whenever you're trying to enter it as a list, not the multiple elements, guys, remember, like SK was concerned about, I hope he's here today, and he's concerned about taking multiple elements from user. I'll show today. And even Aditi was asking like how to take multiple elements. This is not multiple elements, guys. No doubt it's multiple element, but as a list, as a list. So what you do is, any suggestions? How can I take input now for this particular thing? I want this to be a list, not as you see here, not as you see here. I want 1 2 3 4 in a list. No conversion, it will be a string then. No conversion will be a string then. Come on, think about it. Think about it, like what you can use now. Think about it, what you can use. Okay, I'll give you. You can use eval function, remember always. Okay, remember eval function? It automatically converts into appropriate type. So here also it will help us. Especially when you're accepting list from user, make sure you use eval function. In competitive programming, okay, like I was talking about Code Beta and Ninja and all, whatever the competitive programming like InfyTQ, this is very important. Like how to take input from list, or how to take multiple values from user. Okay, let me show you. Let me run and show you now. Things works perfectly fine. Things works perfectly fine. When I enter square bracket 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, it perfectly take it as a list now. Perfectly took it as a list. Got my point, everyone? That how to accept a list from user. Never ever use this list function because it will convert every part of the iteratable to be a list, which is not acceptable. Which is not acceptable. It will convert every part of the thing into a list. Okay, which is not acceptable here. So better use eval function so that it will convert into appropriate list. It will convert into appropriate list. That's why I told you you can use your knowledge. So this is one thing. And second thing is, now I wanted to print the second largest element. Like in our example, if I enter 3 1 5 2 4, I want to print 4, which is the second largest element. Eval converts into list. Eval converts into any type, guys. Satyam. Eval is so intelligent function. Based on the entering data, it can convert into any function actually. If you enter it as a string, it will convert into a string. If you enter it as an integer, it will convert into integer. If you enter it as a float, it will convert into float. If you enter it as a list, it will convert into list. If you enter as a tuple, it will convert into tuple. Got it, Satyam? So eval is function which automatically converts into appropriate type. We generally don't use a lot because its performance is not good. So that's why we will not use it. But in this case, it is important because we don't have any other option. Okay, to take as an input as a list, we have to use eval function, not the list function, not the list function. Now, did you remember our sorted function? Did you remember our sorted function? Result is equal to sorted, which returns your list, sorted of L. Okay, sorted of L. Then you can see print result and check what happens now. Print result, what happens now? So I'm sorting it. We already done this sorted, right? So sorted is a function, will take list and then sort it actually. So let me give a different elements here like 4, 3, 1, 2, and 5. Okay, now you see it's sorting me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever the elements I have given, it's sorting me into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now using our indexing concept and negative index, you know that the second largest will be at -2. I can print at -2. Yeah, that's perfectly. So that's all, guys. This is a program to print the second largest element. You enter anything. Okay, you enter anything. The second largest element is 5. Perfect. Only 3 lines of code. Okay, there is nothing new here. I don't think anything new here. Okay, so but we can able to print second largest element very easily. Same question, if it has been asked in C or in Java, it will be little different. I hope this is okay, guys. Is this example okay for everyone? How to get the second largest element? Okay, thank you, Bull. So let me check anybody having any question about this program. Yeah, thank you, Aditi. Thank you, Shikawat. Yeah, thank you, Nitin. I'm still seeing if I can get. Sorted method works on iteratable types, Satyam, like string, list, tuple. Okay, on all on iteratable things, it will work. Yeah, that's true, right? So very easy. Just take the list and convert in. Just sort them. It gets sorted, and then store the result and print that result. And whatever you wanted to print, the largest, the smallest, and second largest, whatever you want to print, you can print it very easy. Okay, using indexing and all. Okay, perfect. So let's go with our topic. And before I go, I wanted to answer one important question that a lot of people generally ask. First thing we learned today that how to accept a list. Okay, I would like to answer a few interview questions or some important questions here. Okay, first question we answered how to take how to input list. How to input list. This is our first question we have answered. How to input list. So how to input list, okay, or tuple. We have to input list or tuple using eval function. Example, I can use L is equal to eval and I can say here input, okay, and enter list. Enter list. This is how I can input list now. Okay, I can input list. I will automatically check the type of, yeah, data type, and it will convert. What will be the other way to take input list? Yeah, the other way for taking input list is sometime you will be entering not uh, comma separated value, you will be entering space separated value. Like to input how to input multiple values or multiple values. Okay, space separated, actually space separated values. Okay, most of the time you will see that user will enter the input like this. User will enter the input like this. Okay, 1 space 2 space 3, okay, space 4 and all. Right, this is what SK was concerned about. This is what Aditi was concerned about, like how we take multiple inputs now. Can will be other way to input list? Can we set the delimiter also? Yes, Adit. Yes, this is how you can set the delimiter, not using square brackets. Then you use either comma or a space, generally space or a comma. See, I told you whenever you are taking a list or a tuple directly. But here, you know what happens if I give comma separated value now? You know what happens if I give comma separated value? Suppose I give 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Do you think it will work now? Do you think it will work? Yeah, definitely. It becomes tuple. It will work now. It's working. It's working, but it converts into tuple, guys. It has been converted into tuple. Now, when I ask him, please tell me the type of L. That's why this knowledge is required of packing and unpacking. Okay. When I ask him, okay, print me L now, type of L, it will tell you the type of L is not list, it is tuple. Type of L is not list, it is tuple now. Let me run this code again. Okay, it got hanged actually. Okay, fine. No problem. It will run. It got hanged because of some reason. Okay, so I got 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Then I press enter. It says I belongs to a class called tuple. Okay, so that's one way that you learn already how to take a comma separated value and unpack them. You can unpack them, but you wanted to take them into space separated value. Comma separated value, it's okay. Comma separated value is okay. You can unpack them to something like entering three values, suppose x, y, z. This is the way, guys. This is the way you can take multiple values which is comma separated actually. If there are multiple values which are comma separated, then you can take like this now. Okay, you can print x separately. Okay, you can print y separately, and you can print z separately. You can print z separately. So x, y, and z separately you can print it. Now run this code, and you can see that I'm entering 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, I'm entering 1 comma 2 comma 3 perfectly fine. Oh, z is, yeah, okay, I need to give z. Okay, so let's run this code again, and I will give three values now, 1 comma 2 comma 3. So I will also use for multiple inputs. Yes, can be used if it is a tuple. If it is a tuple, so here our tuple is helping us for unpacking the things and taking multiple values. Okay, so that's what our question, how to take multiple values. But if it is space separated, we will see you. Yeah, yeah, guys, please switch off your videos. Okay, thank you. So let's get into and learn one more way that how we take multiple values from user. Let's go and learn one more way how we take multiple values from user. So another way we take multiple values from user is like this. Suppose I wanted to take x comma y comma z, which is a space separated value. Then you can say, okay, then you can say, okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, fine. So list of, okay, list of, you see very carefully. input of split. This will actually get you multiple values, guys, space separated value. We know that split function, we know that list function now. Getting my point, everyone? This is how you can take multiple values from user. This is how you can take multiple values from user. So let me show you here, x comma y comma z, x comma y comma z is equal to list of input of dot split. Okay, this is how we can take. Yeah, but here we should know the number of inputs we want, of course. Then only we can take, Aditi. Yeah, then only we can take. How many values you are passing, based on that you have to take it, not as a list. So that's why here, whenever you have multiple values to take, like sometime you wanted to take two values at a time for adding, and you want to add both of them. Getting my point? Okay, you want to take two values at the same time. That's what the question people were asking, like how to take. Okay, so that's why you can take that value and you can add them, something like this. So this is how you evaluate, you take multiple values from user. Suppose I enter 1 space 2 space 3, perfectly working. So please note down, it's very important how to take multiple values from user. This is how you take multiple values from user. Yeah, this will convert into list type. No, this is separate. This is unpacking again. First it will convert into list and then unpack. But if it is a single variable, then it will be stored as a list, guys. That's true. If it is a single variable now, then it will be stored as a list. Comma separated value will be stored as a list now. So you see, I enter 1 space 2 space 3, it's converted into a list of strings. Sir, but in some questions, it is like take n number of inputs, then you have to accept n, Aditi, and then you have to take a loop in that. Yes, it's unpacking single element, not treated as a previous data. That's true. That's true. But when you take multiple elements, Aditi, in this style, you should know how many elements you will be taking. Okay? Or else you keep it in tuple and then unpack. So all the way you possible, you don't know the number of elements, Aditi, then store it in a single variable called tuple and then unpack them. No, split function job is to, yeah, that's true, that's true. We don't need list actually here. We don't need list here, so we can remove that list one, because split itself will return list. That's perfect. That's perfect, SRK. Okay, so split itself will return list, so no need for that. So I can say 1 space 2 space 3, it's perfectly fine, getting me the same result. Okay, shall we go for next program now? Let us check the next program. So this is how we can print them. Next program, let's see, can we do it? Can you do this? Swap the first and last value of the list. I think it's easy, right? You did this in string as well. So try for it. Python program to swap the first and last value of the list. Uh, Swap the first and last element. No, it's just swap, not minimum and maximum, guys. 3 will go to n and 4 will come to beginning. It's all about in slicing and indexing. Okay, it's all about slicing and indexing. It will work, Satyam. It works. The plus operator also works in list. Concatenation do work in list. So whatever the operations you learn in string will be applicable for all. That's why I don't have to explain much here now. About slicing, indexing and all, I don't have to explain. We don't have replace actually, Shikawa. You can do slicing and indexing. So these examples will make you understand lists better so that we can go for next points. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay, I'll take it from Satyam. But here I'm entering as a square bracket Satyam, so I better use eval. Okay, but that's okay. If it is space separated value, then I can take it like this. No problem. Okay, as the input is square bracket, so that's perfectly fine. So now you see this is the program, guys. I took the inter list, split, okay, let's say space separated value. I'm printing last value, then I'm concatenating from beginning to the end, okay, and then adding that L of 0. Perfectly fine. This will give you swap the first element and the last element. This will swap the first element and the last element in the list. But here you make sure don't give square brackets, you give space separated value. Can only concatenate 1 minute. Is there that's a problem here? It's saying can concatenate string to string. Okay, one thing is I think one thing is string, another one is list actually. This is converting into string, guys. That's what the problem. No, you can concatenate with list. It's not the problem of that. It's not that problem. Okay, let's use eval here and check with that. Eval. Okay, and let me check is there any problem in this code or not. Okay, eval, perfectly fine. So eval will convert into list, and then you can see here. Okay, square brackets as 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Oh, unsupported operator type plus, but I can do, I'll show you first of all. 1 comma 2 comma 3 plus, okay, 4 comma 5 comma 6. It's perfectly okay, guys. It's not like yeah, that's what first thing enter list is something like this, then I'm concatenating it. No, but the problem is actually you're taking it as a string, guys. That is a string actually. That's what he's taking the first item as a string and then concatenating with a list, because when you pick up the each element it will become string, guys, not the list. Do you agree? Yeah, that's what it becomes, a string, not the list. So again you're concatenating with the list, so that's why the problem here is the concatenation. So this is string, this is list, this is string. It's not getting you as a list, guys. It's not getting you as a list. Okay, so I hope you understood why we are getting an error, that it's not getting it as a list, it's getting it as a string. We want list to concatenate. See, concatenation, the only rule is data type should be same. Data type should be same here now. Okay, so here if you go, then obviously you have to use swap again. No, again integer will cannot be concatenated to list again, guys. So at least this way it is not possible with list. The only way is you have to use temporary variable. Okay, you have to use temporary variable and swap them into a list. Swap them into a list. First store L of 0. First store L of 0. Next in L of 0 you have to store, okay, L of 0 you have to store the last value which is -1, which is -1, okay, and L of -1 is equal to t. That's perfectly fine, and then we will print L. Then we will print L. So this is the only way, because the concatenation is creating a problem, because list and string and tuple cannot be concatenated. Now I will enter 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. It's perfectly fine. It's swapping the first element and the last element. I hope this makes sense. Okay, understood, Satyam, why it was not working previously? because you cannot concatenate string with list. List and list can be concatenated. You cannot concatenate with integer with list also. That is not possible. No, even you typecast, it will not possible. No. Even you convert into integer, Satyam, integer cannot be concatenated with list again. Yes, that's true. Because list is mutable, guys, and it will interchange automatically. The same list gets interchanged automatically. Okay? So I hope you're understanding list little bit in a better way. Okay. Yeah, thank you. So try to solve some more problems. Yeah, string is another data type, Aditi, but list is more useful actually. So you need to be good with list. So start solving some problems in list, guys. Okay, you need some more knowledge. Don't worry, I will give it tomorrow. Today we'll end up 10 minutes early. Okay, so tomorrow we'll talk about in detail because a new topic has to be started. So we'll talk about it. So we'll continue this topic actually. We'll talk about more about list and tuple tomorrow. Okay, we covered only one point, creating list and tuple. How to create list and tuple, we're done with that. Then no, you can concatenate list, guys, but when you pick with index, it becomes an integer or something. But slicing and all does not work like as in string. It will work, Aditi. That's what we're going to see next points. That two important points I will discuss tomorrow, which will give you more impact on list actually. We'll try to understand list in better way. No worry. Just look for the programs. Even if you don't solve it, it's okay for today. Yeah, typecasting of this thing. What is the problem we faced it? Let me explain to the problem here. What is the problem we faced here? The problem we faced here is okay. We accepted this thing, right? L is equal to eval of input. Eval of input. I accepted. So when you enter 1, 2, 3, actually it has been, you know that it will convert into string only. So we got string actually. No problem with the string. Okay, no problem with the string. The problem is when I say L of 0, you know what it will return? 1. 1 as a string. 1 as a string. And then you're concatenating with a list of from 0 to -1. So this is string and this is list cannot be concatenated. Concatenation rule is left hand side variable and right hand side variable must be of same type. That is a rule of concatenation. Got the point? With string it works because string with concatenating with string no problem. Okay, because this will also return you string, but it's returning you list now. But here you got a string, so that's why concatenation is not possible. That's why telling you that string and list cannot be concatenated. Understood, everyone? That's what. Whatever you do slicing, it returns you list, guys. When you do slicing, it returns you list. Yeah, that you wanted to do that way, it's okay. It's okay. Casting is not possible. Again, string to list, you cannot convert, right? So, but that's fine. As Udit says, slicing can help us. Slicing can help us in that way. Okay, instead of this way, you do slicing for retrieving the first value and last value. That can be possible, guys. That can be possible. Okay, so let me show you. You use slicing so that every time it will return you list. You wanted to get first element, right? You'll say from initially from colon you return up to first value. This will return you the first value, and from here you go from beginning. I think from first. Okay, sorry, you want last value, right? So I will say till 0. Okay, let me check how it will print now. Okay, let me check here. For example, if we have a list as 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, let's see how we get the last item. How we get the last item here. Okay, I will remove everything. Now let's run. Okay, I will just take it as L is equal to uh, square brackets 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Perfect. Let me check how to get the last value using slicing. If I says from last, okay, go from last till 0 colon minus 1, I think that will get me the last item. Oh, it's getting me all the item 432, but I want only 4. I can say minus 2. Will it be okay? I think it should be minus 2 here. Minus 2 will get you the last item. Yeah, perfect. Minus 2. Not that will become indexable. I don't want to use indexing because indexing will return you the element, not the list. I want it as a list. So this will get me last item. Okay. So now what I will do is I will do like this. If list is like this, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Now I can use my formula to do that. I will get the last item minus 2 colon minus 1. This is to get the last item. Okay, concatenate with another list now. Okay, which will take you from beginning to minus 1, from big sorry, I hope from beginning or from 1 to minus 1. Okay, as it is, and plus getting the first item. You know how to get the first item? I can say L of okay, z from up to 1 you get it. So this will, I think, swap it now. Got my point, guys? This time it did not got me error because all the way I'm getting list again. So it has been swapped first item with last item. Yeah, it's working. So make sure, need to be careful with concatenation. So concatenation do work with list, but left hand side and right hand side should be list. If you do indexing, remember it will return the element. If you do slicing, it will return you the list or string, whatever. Same with string, guys. The only thing is in string, it returns you a string, so that's why you didn't got any problem. String with string can be concatenated, but here integer with list conversion also will not happen. Yeah, Udit. Actually, here when I did colon, I mean that I don't want to. I wanted to start from beginning, no start value. Minus two means you wanted to go till minus two in a reverse order, meaning from minus one to minus two actually. From minus 1 to minus 2, it will only pick one element, which is 4, the last value, but as a list, you see, it's a square bracket. When I do only L of minus 2, it will return only one item, guys. So this is different than this one. Do you agree? This returning as a list, but L of minus 2 will only return an integer, then concatenation cannot happen. That's what the problem we face there, that concatenation does not happen there. Okay, understood? Okay, fine. Vishwajit, chat window is not working. We can extract one element from the list, but it will be extracted as an integer or a string, whatever the data it contains. Got it, Satyam? It extracts, but you cannot concatenate them. I cannot say L of minus 2, okay, you want to concatenate with L of 0 colon something, colon 1 something. No, you cannot do this because this is returning an integer and this will be a string, sorry, list. So integer with list, you cannot concatenate. Okay, that way we will get an error, unsupported operator plus for integer and list. That's what we got a problem in our first the lab when we are doing that. I'm trying to concatenate the integer with list or string with list. This is what we can do, single item as a list. That's what I did. I extracted single element from the list. I extracted 4 here and I extracted 1 here now, first element. So that way it worked for me. So this formula working perfectly for me because I use slicing to extract one element. So with slicing I can extract one element, two elements, three elements, any number of elements, guys. But here we have to use slicing. Okay, understood all? No, no, no. If you put square brackets with list, but again, it will be a different case, guys. Don't do that. I told you list will convert everything, right? Even square brackets will be converted, so don't take that risk. Okay, so this is all for today, guys. No worry. Spend some time with list because it's one of the very important data type. Okay. Okay. First is string. The second is list. But mostly use is list and string together, guys. So that's why you get perfect with string and list. I can see like Aditi and others already working on string. Okay, I can see on chat and I can see here. So please, all of us should work with set two problems, guys, because these assignments will be on track. Because if you lose the track, then you will be lag behind. So do string problems you complete by now, and then you can start with a list and tuple problem, guys. Okay, so that was the suggestion. Yeah, thank you, Shikawa. Thank you, everyone. So we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone.